friends, my name is Rupinder Sayal and welcome to our channel Wonderful Conversations, where we talk about interesting books, magazine articles, movies and documentaries. So the idea that we are going to talk about today is regarding a book that is published in 2006, and the idea is related to your mindset, your attitude towards events and your life in general, and how that can help you or hinder you. It can promote you or can retard your progress. So the book that we are going to talk about today is called Mindset, How You Can Fulfill Your Potential. And this book is written by Carol Dweck. So Carol Dweck is Lewis and Virginia Eaton Professor of Psychology at Stanford University. So as I said, this book was published in 2006. And actually I read this book twice. And when I first read it, the idea didn't go very well with me. But on suggestion of many other friends and other authors, I read this book again last year, and I found this idea to be pretty deep and pretty influential actually. So I like the book in the second reading, so sometimes you have to give the book a second chance. Carol Dweck, as I said, is a professor of psychology at Stanford, and her work has been featured in many prestigious publications. So for example, New Yorker, Time, New York Times, Washington Post and Boston Globe, and we'll post some links to articles where her work has been published. And her work has focused on the idea of mindset, and the big idea of the book is that there are predominantly two different types of mindsets that people can have. So one is the fixed mindset and the other is the growth mindset. Now, to explain what those mindsets are, think about a setback in your life, or think about your ability for anything, or your intelligence level, or your genius level, as some would like to say. So some people are in the camp of the fixed mindset, where they think that your intelligence, your physical ability, your mental ability is all fixed and it cannot change, you cannot do much about it. And as you can imagine, it's a pretty pessimistic worldview. And the other is the growth mindset, where of course there are some limits on the intelligence, and of course there are some limits on the physical abilities. For example, I can't be 6'2" anymore, but there is a lot of malleability, there is a lot of flexibility in most of a person's characteristics according to this mindset. And Carol Dweck basically drills this idea in this book that it is very positive, it is very helpful if you adopt the growth mindset as compared to the fixed mindset. So the book is fairly short actually, and it is about 250 pages, very well researched, lot of references and a lot of references to her own research. And most of the chapters deal with some aspect of life. So for example, there are 3 separate chapters on how this mindset, this growth mindset, can help you in business, for example, how it is important for business people, how it is important for your relationships. So there is a separate chapter on that. And also there is a separate chapter on sports, for example, sports achievement. So the last and the second last chapter, for example, this chapter 7 talks about the roles of parents and teachers and coaches in basically helping develop the potential of children, because most of our mindsets actually come from our childhood and our adolescence. So it is really important that we praise the children in the right way. So Carol Dweck notes the example of when a child does good in an exam or does good in a project, for example. It is important to stress the praise on the child's effort and not on the child's innate ability, because the problem with innate ability is that as soon as child encounters some roadblock or some setback, they immediately start to doubt their innate ability, and soon they become very negative and become very pessimistic. So it is important to focus on the growth process and the process of learning and development, because that is something that child, or as an adult also, somebody can also always work on, and somebody can always develop, as compared to the innate ability, or if we say that the child is a genius. Because if we say or if we label the child as a genius, then that child thinks, okay, everything should come easy to me. And if there is a failure in life, or there is a setback in life, there is financial hardship or anything, the child thinks, or the person thinks that, oh, there is something wrong with this mentality. So where do we go? There is no outback, or there is no escape from this mindset actually. So fixed mindset can lead to a lot of depressing thoughts, a lot of negativity, a lot of pessimism actually, and that's why it is more optimistic and more hopeful to have a growth mindset. So the last chapter actually talks about how we can use the ideas presented in this book, the fixed mindset and growth mindset, towards our own personal development. So I think in summary, it's a very well researched book. Although it can be a bit repetitive, because you can get the gist of the idea just from this talk, for example. So I think the book could be even more shorter, but I think due to the publishing constraints or the fact that this idea is pretty new, even with the wide variety of self-help books available. So I think the author had to really get a lot of examples and a lot of research and a lot of insights into this books to basically drill this idea down into the mindset of the people. So I think that's why the book is about 250 pages. Otherwise this could be drilled down to, let's say, 150 pages. So anyways, I think it's a very well researched, very important book, and I think it is one of those profound books that can have a lasting impact on your mindset and on your ability to think about your own ability, for example, and your own setbacks and how you can recover from those. So that's it for today. So please buy this book if you are interested in further exploring this idea, and thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, give it a thumbs up, and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.